angry with you, Christian.
You're an actress. What are you talking about?
Being an actor means you're basically showing your talent at pretending you're doing something or portraying an emotion that's not even there. Cry on command, love on command, laugh on command, it's a tough job, especially if you work with someone you don't actually like. Behind the scenes feuds and drama are nothing new, but they're always surprising when they're about actors who shared iconic romantic scenes, or just actors from some of the most popular TV shows ever. Vampire Diaries, One Tree Hill, Game of Thrones, The Notebook, and many more movies and TV shows all have something in common. Things were pretty heated behind the scenes. Jerome, Flynn, and Lena Headey, starting off with a bang, even though some of us still haven't recovered from the Game of Thrones finale. Did you know that Jerome, Flynn, and Lena Headey actually hated each other? Like, really hated each other. Yep, this is precisely why the good old Cersei and Bronn didn't really share many scenes together. Lena and Jerome used to date. It's not clear when, but according to rumors, it was way before Game of Thrones ever happened. The Telegraph was the first one to break this story back in 2014, and it immediately made viral news. According to the rumors, the pair's relationship ended so badly they actually refused to share any scenes together. This is precisely why Bronn had to go to Dorne with Jaime, because otherwise his character would have to eventually come face to face with Cersei. Neither Lena nor Jerome actually confirmed or denied these statements, but that just might be because rumors have it that it's in their actual contracts, which also explains why the two never spoke about each other in any interviews. Now that's quite a lot of tension behind the scenes, isn't it? Makes you wonder how this affected the entire cast. Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams. The Notebook is one of the most iconic romance movies ever. Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams did an amazing job at portraying their characters, but allegedly, the two really didn't like each other on set. In an interview with VH1, the director of the movie spilled some serious tea about the pair. He said that he wasn't supposed to tell this story, but then revealed that the two just couldn't put their differences aside. Ryan even requested to practice the scenes with another actress because he just wasn't feeling any chemistry with Rachel. The director actually needed to have an impromptu therapy session between the two so they could solve their differences. He said they started screaming and yelling at each other. I walked out. But then the director added that him walking out actually allowed them to kind of let their frustrations out. After that, things were reportedly a bit better. The rest of the film wasn't smooth sailing, but it was smoother sailing. Hard to believe when their characters looked so madly in love in the movie, right? Plus, these two later on dated in real life for 3 years. Angelina Jolie and Johnny Depp. In 2010, a print version of In Touch Weekly broke the story that while filming The Tourist, Angelina and Johnny reportedly didn't get along. A source close to them told the magazine that the two had a lot of issues trying to understand each other's different personalities. Angelina reportedly thought that Johnny partied too much, and Johnny considered her uptight. This intervened with each other's work ethic, but they managed to hide it really well because their chemistry in the movie was still great. Well, regardless of whether this story is true or not, it looks like the two put their differences aside. They made it work for the sake of the movie, which just proves they're both extremely talented actors, but it's still unclear whether these rumors were actually true or not. Over the years, they actually became very close, and we all know that at least one magazine posts rumors about them dating every single year. Probably will never happen, but you never know when it comes to Hollywood A-listers. Julia Roberts and Nick Nolte. Any movie that involves Julia Roberts is automatically the most romantic movie ever, right? Remember the 90s classic I Love Trouble? It's an absolutely adorable movie, but apparently things weren't going smoothly off screen. It all started with I Love Trouble, where the two allegedly had to shoot some scenes without being in each other's presence. Julia commented that while Nick is completely charming and very nice, he's also completely disgusting. She said that he's going to hate me for saying this, but he seems to go out of his way to repel people. Nick later replied to this statement saying, it's not nice to call someone disgusting, but she's not a nice person. Everyone knows that. Ouch, that's gotta hurt, right? And the two are really good actors for being able to still pull off amazing scenes in I Love Trouble. It's unclear if these two remained off-screen friends over the years, which could potentially mean they just parked their feud and went separate ways. Claire Danes and Leonardo DiCaprio. Many news articles report that these two really didn't seem to get along on the set of Romeo and Juliet. When filming the movie back in 1996, reports were telling the story that the two didn't have that much chemistry off-screen. Claire reportedly found Leo way too immature and just couldn't get on board with his antics. But other interviews tell a slightly different story. Because Claire was working with a legend that is Leonardo DiCaprio, she had to keep her cool at all times. Since Leo was pretty much a crush of basically anyone that grew up in the 90s, she had to stop herself from turning the on-screen romance into off-screen. She said that I couldn't really have a crush on the guy I was professionally having a crush on. Speaking of professional, even though Claire might have had some resentment towards Leo, she actually got hired because of her confidence. Leo said she was the only one that dared to look him in the eye, which is why she got the job. Or maybe she was just staring him down because she knew she wasn't going to get along with him. Just kidding. Chad Michael Murray and Sophia Bush. One Tree Hill. Still not over that show, to be completely honest. Both on-screen and off-screen, Chad Michael Murray and Sophia Bush had a lot of drama. Seriously, a lot of drama. It was one of the most complicated relationships, and it proved that just because you work with someone, it doesn't mean you'll like them outside of work. Sophia and Chad's relationship has been very publicly documented over the years, and it even carried on for many, many years after the initial divorce scandal. Seriously, these two have had Twitter feuds and shady comments too. The two got married in 2005, but then got divorced just a couple of months later. And of course, One Tree Hill was still going on at the time. Now that's really messy. Working with someone you don't really like is hard, and Sophia opened up just how difficult that is for Hollywood actors. She said, "At the end of the day, we're grown-ups, and I actually think what's interesting about it is that when people split in a way that's unpleasant, they usually just go on quite literally hating each other. Or the person in my situation hates the other person, whatever, but when you have to work with somebody for another half a decade, you kind of have to deal with it." Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson. Say what? Yep, the couple from the steamy 50 Shades of Grey series wasn't really all that steamy when it comes to off-screen chemistry. The 50 Shades of Grey franchise was full of scandals altogether. Let's not forget that the actual director of the movie had a falling out with E.L. James after fighting over her almost every scene. But Jamie and Dakota, aka Christopher and Anna, reportedly struggled to get along. Their characters kind of had that awkward chemistry on screen, which made a lot of people to believe they didn't get along. This was also confirmed by the off-screen awkwardness at the 2017 Oscars when they presented an award together. In 2014, Jamie was also reportedly completely sick of showing his skin in the movies, which made it look like basically no one was happy during the filming of the franchise. But still, the movies managed to impress a lot of fans, which proved that Jamie and Dakota were able to put their differences aside. Or, you know, maybe these were all just rumors and the two were close friends all along. Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey. Okay, this one kind of hurts because it's the kind of love we all want, right? But apparently the movie they did together before Dirty Dancing kind of put them on the list of so-called enemies. They really didn't get along. According to Moviephone.com, Patrick got irritated because Jennifer wouldn't stop laughing during one of the movie's most romantic scenes. Patrick recalled that moment in his autobiography and said that she thoroughly annoyed him at the time. He admitted the two had what he describes as moments of friction that made filming extremely difficult. Patrick commented on Jennifer saying she seemed particularly emotional, sometimes bursting into tears if someone criticized her. Other times, she slipped into silly moods, forcing us to do scenes over and over again when she started laughing. Since he seems like a very serious actor that doesn't like to waste time on set, it's kind of clear he didn't appreciate Jennifer's antics. But hey, girls just want to have fun, right? Nina Dobrev and Paul Wesley. You might remember these two from Vampire Diaries, but what you might not know is that off-screen they pretty much didn't share any chemistry whatsoever. Elena and Stefan were great, but Nina and Paul had to put aside a lot of differences to portray a couple on screen. Nina admitted that her and Paul just didn't get along. She said that while she respected him, she just didn't like him. But they had such good chemistry on screen, right? Even Nina admitted people would come up to her asking if her and Paul are dating. She said that for the first 5 months of shooting, they despised each other so much that it actually read as love. She later explained how difficult it is to spend so much time with just one person. When you work with anyone or are spending a lot of time with anyone, little things are gonna annoy you about them. It's like a relationship. We were basically married. She continued that it was like a marriage without you know what. But over the years, the two were able to park their feud. They are actually really good friends now, which is quite surprising. Even Nina herself can't believe that she can call Paul one of her closest friends after basically hating him. Reese Witherspoon and Vince Vaughn. And last but not least, we can't talk about on-set feuds without mentioning these two. Four Christmases might be a funny movie with very good actors, but while the movie was filming, the media had a field day with Reese and Vince's story. The two had an ongoing feud, but no one quite knows how it began. Rumors have it that the two had a personality clash that went so far they actually excluded some pretty steamy scenes from the movie. Sure, they might have made us laugh on screen, but don't forget that these are amazing actors. Vince never even bothered to show up to the premiere, while Reese pretty much did all the PR work by herself. It's unclear whether the feud between these two is still ongoing or not. As of 2019, very few news about them have come out since Four Christmases. Needless to say, maybe the off-screen drama is the reason why the movie has a score of 24% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now that's really gotta hurt. And that's it for our video. Which movie couple feud was most surprising to you? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.